Hey guys, John here. So the 4th Gen Tacoma is officially sold. Yes, after 1 year of ownership, I am selling this TRD Off-Road Tacoma Premium behind me. In this video, we're going to talk about all the modifications that we did with the truck, the adventures that we had, and the pros and cons of ownership after just 1 year of having this thing. And for those wondering why a giveaway did not happen with this vehicle, well, I thought long and hard about it. Logistically, it just didn't make sense for the time frame, but there will be a giveaway in the future. We're going to get the merch store going, do some trial and error stuff with that, and then I have a new vehicle that I just purchased that I think would make a great candidate for a giveaway vehicle. So let's start out with some of the mods, because this thing has come a long way from its stock form when I picked it up in Kentucky. We did a hidden light bar behind the grill from Cali Rays. This thing is super bright, very inexpensive, and it allowed us not to be a TRD bro. So we kept the OEM TRD off-road grill up front, and then we were able to put a hidden light bar right behind it. Now below that, we have some diodynamic fog lights that look OEM, very OEM plus build that I went with this, but these things, holy crap, in conjunction with that light bar, super bright. And then we have a NiTop low pro bumper right here. Now in the lights too, we also swapped out the halogen bulbs for some LEDs, but I've since taken them out to put them into the 6th Gen 4Runner. As we open the hood, you notice that it stays up because we put some hood struts there from Redline Tuning, and you'll also notice something very nice under the hood that makes some pretty good turbo noises. So this right here is an intake by 6th Element Off-Road. They are a sponsor on the channel, really supporting me out, and I'm trying to support them out as much as possible too, as they build out their catalog for 4Runner, Land Cruiser, Tundra soon as well, and also 4Runner. But this intake was installed by Mark at the Overland Expo East when I was up there. This thing has been awesome. So under load, this thing makes some pretty good noises without being obnoxious like the Trail Hunter. I also like when you give it a good amount of throttle and you let off, you can hear the wastegate just go. It also has a nice clear top too, which is magnetic. So if you need to clean anything out of the filter, you can. And it's sucking in air from 2 places now. It's sucking in air from right here, which the OEM one does on the Tacoma, but also we're taking in some cold air from our fender well as well. So I will leave a link, guys, for 6th Element Off-Road in the description of this video. They're an awesome company. I can't wait to try more products from them in the future. But yeah, this intake has been good. No check engine light. I feel like I get a little bit better of low-end throttle out of this thing. And then just the turbo noises too have been great. MPGs, they didn't really go up because I'm enjoying the sound a little bit too much out of this thing. I asked the new owner too if he wanted me to take this out. He's like, nah, dude, it sounds really, really good. So he is going to continue to enjoy the turbo noises. As we come to the side of the Tacoma, you can definitely tell that we are lifted up a little bit. This is thanks to Westcott Designs and their pre-collar kit. Also, you'll notice that I did take off the lights. I had some Bajas on here just sitting on top of the Cali Rays ditch brackets. Those are going to remain for the new owner. The paint's looking good, right? Because we did ceramic coat it with some G-Technic ceramic coating. We have probably about a year left on it because it was only like a 2-year coating. So we have about a year left for the new owner. The wheels and tires package that we have on this, Nitto Ridge Grapplers, 285 75 R17, about a 34-ish inch tire. These are a C load rating, and they are wrapped around some Relations race wheels, mono forged. These are their RS2 hybrids in their very dark bronze. So it's not really a bright bronze to kind of clash with the underground color. Rather, it's kind of a matted, darker bronze, and I think that it looks really good. I really liked these wheels, nice billet center cap that it has in it. You could tell that these protection rings, so they're not bead locks, they're actual protection rings that are actually bolted in as well, and they took a good brunt of everything that Moab had to throw at it. And for the new owner, if he wants to spruce that up a little bit, he could just take those protection rings off, repaint it, throw them back on, and they'll look absolutely brand new. Another thing too that took a good brunt of some abuse out in Moab was these rock sliders, and they have held up absolutely perfectly from Westcott Designs. So we have their 0-degree rock sliders with the top plates on it to step up to the Westcott Designs roof rack too. I don't know if I would ever do a roof rack again on a build. I say that though, as another roof rack is coming for the TRD Pro, but I don't really put anything up here. I have a bed of the truck, where I'm able to throw a whole bunch of stuff, and I never really kitted this thing out for actual, you know, overlanding to the point where I needed a whole bunch of stuff up top. I like the kind of minimal camping approach, but very little wind noise out of this. When you do put stuff up top on the roof of your vehicle, you do get some roof noise, and I just love all the little detail that Westcott Designs puts into their stuff with their iconic bottle openers, the little Tacoma right here too, just kind of going up that as like it's a mountain, and then of course their branding right there. Now the GFC, a lot of you guys have been asking me about the GFC. I love this thing. I camped in it. It's been rock solid on the vehicle with all the off-roading and stuff that I did. This one is their topper setup, so it's not the full camper that goes over it. So I think the next GFC that I would get would be a full camper option with the pop-up tent, because trying to sleep in a 5-foot bed wasn't the funnest. I did have the BAM bed with a blow-up mattress kind of in it, but I had to sleep diagonal to really fit, which was okay, but a full pop-up setup would be good. These ones do have the beef bars on it, which I was able to put an Ironman 270-degree Delta awning on it, and they handled it perfectly fine. It's a very heavy awning, but they were able to handle it fine. One con I will say is, since GFC doesn't have mirrors, or I'm sorry, windows right here on the sides, you do lose a little bit of head checking space. But what I do like about the GFC is that even in Florida on the summer days, it actually stayed pretty nice and cool. This one was optioned with the glass in the back too. And then just the machining quality of work that GFC does was really awesome. And then they also partnered with Freedom Coast, which is another made in America manufacturer. So you can see all these rails that I have up top too on the GFC. This is great for if you're wanting to run some things to add accessories and put like your paper towel holders there, tie down a bike. GFC is partnered with that company to make these kind of T-rails that you could put onto the GFC to mount stuff onto. So the GFC has been awesome. I also love their kind of translucent roof that's a nice white color. So again, it helps with heat, and it also allows light to come into here too, which is pretty rad. And then we also replaced the little Baby Yoda stuff with Charvonia Designs, nice billet tie down spots right there. And two, we have them under here. So it's a nice made in America billet tie downs also that just clamp right into place. Very nice design, and for, you know, an expensive truck, it's nice to have more high quality parts in it. We put some last fit liners back here. I have this cool little mat by Ecological. It basically covers for dirt and stuff getting in there, because a lot of people ask, hey John, with the GFC, how much dust gets in your vehicle? Well, the main culprit of how dust gets into there is the tailgate. So this little flap right here helped a good bit to allow some dust not to get into the back of the vehicle. We also have some bed stiffeners by Westcott Designs, which have their little kind of truck logo thing right there too. Below the tailgate, we did put some recovery points by Nytop, and you could tell that these things definitely did their job. They are rusting a little bit, and they look okay. Again, there are different options out there, as you guys will see with the link in the description, with some nice billet aluminum options and stuff too. So these ones did protect the bumper though, the way that they should. And you can tell that we don't have an exhaust tip hanging out. Rather, it's dumped right there. This is a MagnaFlow exhaust. I think that it actually made the 4-cylinder engine of the Tacoma sound as good as it could. I did enjoy the exhaust system on this little 4-cylinder. And then just in the back too, to tie off just some OEM Plus stuff, we have some Tough Skins. This is their reflective topo. So you can kind of see how that topo is reflecting with the sunlight. And that's pretty much it for the outside. And then really the only things that we did on the inside was just some screen protectors on the screen. We did the last fit floor mats. And then of course from Yodaverse, we were able to put a center console organizer, because Toyota just still doesn't give you a center console organizer on a $50,000+ vehicle. So shout out to Yodaverse for that. They have a whole bunch of options as well on their sites to kit out your Toyota. But yeah, it's been pretty good in here. So all these mods, were they necessary? Well, no, not really, right? You could have done a lot of the adventures that I did with this Tacoma without all these mods. Mods make vehicles fun. It gives them character. It does help out performance-wise too sometimes. Like when I was out in Moab, right? That front bumper by Nytop, their recovery hooks in the back, having a bit of a lift from Westcott and the bigger tires did allow me to clear more obstacles without it scraping up my vehicle, especially the rock sliders, man. I don't know how many times those rock sliders helped me while out at Moab. So that leads us into the adventures that we did with this truck. We have 12,600 miles on the truck in a year. 10,000 of those were probably done within the first 4 months, 5 months. Once this truck got back to Florida, I didn't unfortunately do a lot of adventures with it because it was summertime, and it's not really that fun to go camping and all that stuff in Florida with all the bugs out during the summertime. But we drove it from Destin, Florida out to Arizona so Westcott Designs could do a whole bunch of stuff to it. We then from there off-roaded a bit in Arizona, went to California with the truck to Johnson Valley, went to also Borrego Springs with this too. We went to Moab with it. We went to Gilmer, Texas to do the Toyota Jamboree with it. Had a ton of fun off-roading out there. And it really allowed me to get some memories with this truck. And honestly, if the buyer's watching this video, I don't want to sell it. I jumped the gun on getting a TRD Pro just because I wanted to get something fresh and new for the channel for you guys. And I truly do think that the hybrid powertrains of these Tacomas is where it's at. I do enjoy driving the TRD Pro Tacoma a bit more than this just because it's a lot funner to drive. But that being said, the memories that I had with this truck, if it was a hybrid, I honestly think that this would be a forever truck. And I know that sounds crazy for a YouTuber who does a lot of car related content and everything to say forever truck, because you know we always have to kind of be changing the content here on the channel to keep you guys interested. But if I did not have YouTube and I know what I know right now, a hybrid Tacoma for me personally would be the only truck in my driveway. The amount of power is good. We don't have kids, so I'm not concerned about the back seats, having space back there for people all the time. It has a good amount of bed space too if you get the 5-foot bed, because it's nice and deep compared to the 3rd gen Tacoma. The drivability of it is great. I had zero issues with this powertrain. So far, knock on wood, I have not had any issues with the powertrain of the iForce Max versions, which are the hybrids. The only check engine light that I had with this was a grill shutter issue, but the truck was still able to drive fine, and then Toyota just redid the grill shutter for me, and that ended up being a TSB anyways. So now all the trucks, Toyota knows about that issue. All trucks moving forward should not have that issue for the grill shutter. So I haven't had any issues aside from that powertrain wise, check engine light wise. There are some things because this is early model production. This is about 3,000 out of the 200,000 trucks that they made for 2024. There are some minor creaks and rattles here and there with it, but it is nothing like compared to our Land Cruiser or my older Tundras that I had, both of them. Both of those 3rd gen Tundras clearly were not built as solid as this new Tacoma. So I am selling it, and it is sold. He already paid off the loan. We're waiting for a whole bunch of other BS paperwork and stuff to go down. But if this thing was a hybrid, I really probably wouldn't have sold it, guys. And also with that too, the memories that I made with it, it's just so awesome. It was such a good truck. And after he test drove it, he's like, yeah, I want to buy it. I was like, are you sure? But I have to sell it because I don't need all these cars right now. So that was a quick walk around again of this vehicle. It is officially off the channel now. I appreciate the support that you guys showed with this whole road trip adventure with the truck, the off-road videos that we did with it, all the modifications that we did with it, the sponsors too for this truck that helped me along in the whole building process with it. It's been awesome, man. It's been really awesome. And if you guys are on the fence about buying a 4th gen Tacoma, I would say do it. There are deals to be had right now, man. These trucks, like I bought this one at MSRP, but they are at $5,000 to $10,000 off MSRP, depending on the grade that you get. TRD Off-Roads in my area, they're still kind of up there at dealerships. That's why this guy is getting a pretty decent deal for all the mods that I have on the truck, and also it's still under what all the dealerships are offering in our area for a fully decked out one. So you could get good deals on these trucks if you do shop around, if you're willing to travel, and also decent financing options. I've had 2 3rd gens before this. I would not buy a 3rd gen again, and this is not, oh, John gets paid by Toyota. I could care less if you guys buy this truck. I am just relaying the information to you after a year of owning it, literally driving from Florida to California to Texas, back to Arizona, up into New Mexico, all the way back, Utah, all that stuff. I enjoyed pretty much every single moment with it. So guys, I appreciate you all watching, and I will catch you in the next one. All right, see you later.